What's up, y'all? You want to know the secrets? Here are the secrets. If you go to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns, you can get early episodes, you can get bonus episodes, you can get super long episodes with special guests like Justin Robert Young and Hal Lublin, and many more to come. Patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. Secrets. I don't like it.
Nobody wants that. I want a computer.
I want a computer to whisper about boobies to me. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
We get a lot of stories sent to us, Anthony.
Do we, Jeff?
From a whole variety of websites, but almost never Variety, the website.
Sentient websites sending us stories at all times.
Well, people are sending us links to science websites and all kinds of stuff. We almost never get anything from Variety.
No.
And we did today, and this is a good one. I've
certainly never gotten a call from Variety. I'll tell you that
Sadly,
much.
our phone lines are open. Variety.
Anytime. What's up?
This is
all I want is for Variety to say I've ankled something.
Ankled?
Yeah, you know that's like a big headline in Variety. Some people are ankling things. You ever seen that? Yeah.
No.
Ankle is like Hollywood terms for something.
What?
I don't know.
You don't even know how to ankle.
I don't know how to ankle, but I want to ankle something in Variety.
Maybe if you learned how to ankle, Variety would tell people that you're ankling. But you got to ankle first.
That's the thing, kid. You're born with it or you're not.
Well, that's the problem.
Some people are just born knowing how to ankle.
It's a catch-22. In order to ankle, you have to have ankled. But you can't ankle if you haven't ankled.
There are too many gatekeepers in this industry. What did we get from Variety?
This is a story sent to us by my buddy, Brad Arnold. He sent us a story about a British reality TV show called Eden.
Called Great British Bake Off. Let me tell you a little something about that show.
Anthony, you're going to talk for an hour and a half.
Welcome to our Great British Bake Off fan
No,
cast.
it is not. Do not let Anthony start telling you about the Great British Bake Off because he will not stop.
Oh, guys, there are 3 seasons of it on Netflix now. Just watch it.
Okay.
Just watch it. It's like Animal Crossing, but with people.
Channel 4 did a program called Eden. And the idea of this program is that 23 men and women were dispatched to a remote corner of the Scottish Highlands to set up a self-sufficient community. They would be cut off from all communication.
Are these all surly Scottish people, or are they from all over the place?
All over the place, just in a surly Scottish land.
You send 24 surly Scottish people
that doesn't turn out well.
To the Highlands and tell them to stay there.
One survives.
Yeah, that's it. Only one makes it out.
It's a Highlander situation.
And he has so many powers by the time he gets out.
They were cut off from every communication with the outside world. They had to decide their own rules and laws, build shelter, get food, raise their own
24
livestock.
Scottish people just for a year, if you leave them alone, just get drunk and rate albums.
I like this one the best.
That's all they do.
That's great. So they did this. They sequestered the people. They put them in this thing. They set them out. They started it. They had a crew of 4 camera operators with them. They had a bunch of autonomous cameras that were set up all around their area.
Yeah.
And they were going to be there for months. They were going to, this was going to go. The show started up.
Yep. Nobody cared. 4
episodes of the show aired. It tanked and they canceled it.
Wow.
End of
That's
story?
a bummer.
End of story? Well, no, not end of story. No one told the people.
I'm sorry?
No one bothered to inform the contestants that the show was over. They were sequestered in Scotland, in the Highlands, cut off. They had successfully cut them off from all forms of communication, and nobody bothered to, drive out there and go, show's over, everybody. Nobody's watching. You can go home back to your families now. They stayed, and they...
Wait a minute. So many questions.
Yeah.
Now, okay, here's what's up. I've worked on productions before. The contestants might stick around because they've signed, but like the first day the cameramen don't get food dropped off for them.
No, that's the whole idea. They had to.
But the camera guys?
There was only 4 of them. I think the idea was that they couldn't have a camera guy like busted into a Snickers bar while the rest of the team is like, growing livestock and.
Okay, but what happens when the camera guys send off footage and then like no new cards come back?
That's a great question.
Let me tell you something about crew.
Great question.
You make something hard for the crew.
Yeah.
The crew fucks off. That's just the way it works.
These 4 guys, evidently, they got real cheap. These guys were, I don't know. I don't know how they managed to talk these dudes into it, but.
So they just lived there as the contestants did.
For a year. This lasted a year of their lives.
How'd it go?
Well, by the end of it, they were eating chicken feed and they were infighting, and it devolved into really what would probably be pretty great television, but nobody gives a shit.
Wow.
It was complete chaos. They finished up their year. They left and came out, and they're like, "Oh, hey, does the country love us? Are we stars?"
But wait, though, man. Like, when you say they finished their year and they left, like, nobody tried to leave before that, and they just walked out, and they expected what? Like, were they told on day 1 that on day 366 cars would be waiting at 2 p.m.?
I think that's the idea.
Like.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they were told.
And they just walked out and they were like, where's the fucking bus?
It says 13 of the 23 contestants quit the show during the year as sexual jealousy, infighting, and hunger took their toll. The first to quit claimed she had been bullied, while local residents said the contestants were caught smuggling in junk food and alcohol, and some had been treated by a local dentist after eating chicken feed laced with grit. But they leave, right? So they have this chicken feed and it's laced with grit, and you're like, oh shit, I broke a tooth. You have no way to get a hold of the crew, but then like you go to get your teeth taken care of by a dentist, right? And like clearly the first thought would be, yo, I've got to let the crew know. Or No,
like,
I think this is what every contestant on that show wants. If you're pissed off and you hate everyone that you've been doing this with, and you're one of the 13 people that fucked off and left and found out it was all a sham and it was canceled, you are like, oh yeah, I am not telling
No,
a
but these
single
are-
person.
but-
I'm just gonna let this play out.
sure, the people that left, but I'm talking about the people that like smuggled in junk food and also went out to get like their teeth fixed.
Yeah.
Like, clearly they would have heard, or they would have said something, or they would have like tried to get a hold of the production company.
Well,
or
you could make a case for the idea that they're.
I'm saying these people are fucking dumb,
Oh no,
Jeff.
dude! To sign up for this thing, you got to be dumb. To
I mean-
do a reality show at all, you got to be dumb. That's a prerequisite.
I would say
look
this.
at our president, for God's sake.
Sure, but I would say this, as far as like concepts for a reality show go, this is a pretty interesting one. This, you know how every once in a while a
You're into
reality
this?
show comes up and you're like, I would maybe apply for
The
for
only
that.
one I would do is
Or
the Amazing Race.
Yeah, see?
That seems fun.
But I think the idea of this one going out into the middle of nowhere and like
Starting a society.
start a society,
Yeah.
that sounds pretty cool to me.
Well,
Like,
except for how it turned out, which was the opposite of cool.
right, but what I'm saying is it sounds pretty cool to me. I'm not saying like, I'm saying that people who signed up for this thing aren't necessarily the dumbest, except that they're the dumbest. How do you not know?
Yeah.
How do you not go like, should it's
Well,
been
the
months.
cameras are still there.
It's been months. What if somebody gets sick? Somebody should be checking in. They have to do like interviews with us. That's the way reality shows work.
I'm going to eat this chicken feed and I'm going to get sick and I'm sure somebody's going to come.
I went and I did another confessional. I don't know for who. These cameras don't seem to be running anymore. Nobody appears to be changing batteries
This is
or
like
whatever.
the beginning of BioShock.
Yeah.
This is what this is.
Or
It's like
Biodome.
any of the bios, really.
Any bio, really. Name a bio. This is it.
There's such poetic justice to this, though, I think. I'm appreciating the schadenfreude of these idiots that did this for glory and literally put themselves through hell. It's like you went on Fear Factor
Yeah.
and you ate, horse dung, and they're like, oh, no, we weren't shooting any of that. None of that.
Yeah.
We didn't.
We didn't get that. Will you do it again? We didn't get it.
We still didn't get it. In fact, none of this is all.
There's something up with these cameras. And by these cameras, I mean, we are not the Fear Factor crew.
I mean, this cardboard box that I set up on a tripod.
I'm sorry that you fell for it, but I'm not.
But I ate so much horse dung.
Yeah, you did.
I kept eating the horse dung.
I know.
And then I You told me you needed it on a different angle.
Yeah.
And so I ate more
from
horse
this cardboard box. It literally says Amazon Prime on the side of it.
But I thought that was a new Prime camera thing that Amazon might be, because we've been here for so long.
That's
who knows?
fair. They do have a vast ecosystem of their own electronics.
Who knows what technology has happened since we got here?
No, I do. Because I keep leaving.
You do. And
I don't know why you don't keep leaving.
You keep coming back and bringing other people who then laugh and point.
If I wanted to drive a group of people mad, my enemies,
you would invent a reality show?
I would do this. Like, this is, how do we not know that this was not the plan?
Oh, man. 23 people who were friends with Gordon.
23 people who wronged me in some way.
Gordon Smith's producing a new show where 23 of his friends, quote unquote.
23 people that Gordon Smith has said he's met before in various situations, but won't tell us how, are all getting put together on an island. And then that island is slowly sinking.
There's something beautiful about this, though. And the funny thing is, none of these people has agreed to an interview afterwards, which you'd think that they would at least try to, parlay their misery into some sort of
I wonder how
fame.
long the cameras were running, because without anybody like checking or changing or like whatever, like if the cameras are running the whole time, this was not an interesting show, I guess. People didn't like it. I would love to see the first few episodes just to see why it didn't work. But what will work is the fucking documentary about this show.
Oh, yeah. That'll be so much better ratings than the actual show.
Whose job was it to call these fucking... It's some fucking PA and like their check bounced or something.
Here's how it goes. It goes, hey, Phil, we're canceling the show and you're fired. But before your last thing, the thing you got to do right before there's one thing you need to do before.
Fuck you, one thing I got to do.
You got to call all the contestants and let them know. You got to drive out there.
You call the contestants. You just fired me, man.
There's no phone, so you got to drive out there.
I don't work here anymore.
No, you're fired. You're definitely fired.
Peace out, man.
Yeah, no, I know, but you got to...
No, I'm not driving all the way out there. Send somebody you didn't fire. Send somebody on the payroll, because I'm not doing this.
There isn't anybody we didn't fire. We fired
Then
the show's
you go.
over.
I'm out, man.
No, I got fired too. I'm fired. My last task was to tell you were fired.
You're the boss. You go.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
I'm not getting paid anymore either. My last task was to tell you to do this and also to fire you.
Oh, these
it was a two-step
fucking
task.
guys. All right, man. Well, like, they'll figure it out. I'm not doing it. You're clearly not doing it. It doesn't matter.
You know what? Fuck them.
Fuck
if
them,
they had been more
dude.
interesting, we wouldn't have gotten fired.
BBC4 can fucking go out there.
That's right. It's kind of their fault we got fired.
It's totally their fault. They canceled the show.
How long did they
should have
wait?
given us a chance.
How long did they
4
wait
weeks?
to eat the chicken feed? They should have done that day one.
4 weeks is all you give us?
That's not enough time to build characters.
No, I think it's just so funny, like, because the production company was like clearly cut loose.
Mm-hmm.
And the second the production company was cut loose, so many people who are hired on to work TV shows, like there is no... Production companies have so few full-time employees. Right? Like that's what people don't like. What many people don't know.
Staff up for a thing and then they staff down.
You have some execs and you have some showrunners, and then you hire a team of people every time you sell a show to a network.
Yeah,
and then that group of people is contract, and you let them go when the show gets canceled or whatever. And like clearly they just kind of let everybody go. And like there was some PA or somebody who was like supposed to tell him, and nobody thought to delegate it. That's what's crazy. Within like all these people at this production company, nobody thought to delegate going out there.
Yeah.
Literally no one thought about these people as people.
At some point, yeah, that's the real truth right there. And I think that's the case with every reality show. They are never treated as human beings.
No, God, no.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all heard stories of like The Real World and shows like that where they do these crew AMAs. And they're like, yeah, the walls don't go all the way up to the ceiling by design.
Right.
So we can stick cameras in, but also so everyone can always hear what everyone else is saying.
Sure.
We always keep them drunk.
Yeah.
We always keep them angry.
We always
walk over to them and like whisper in their ear that somebody was talking shit.
Right.
Like,
it's
do
all
this.
Manipulation and garbage.
It's awful.
The other thing that this article points out that's kind of funny is that they all left and none of them had known that, for example, England left the EU.
Right. They don't know any of this shit.
So they're like,
there's no reason for them not to know any of this shit because they weren't doing anything worthwhile. That's kind of, man, They just kind of fucked off for a year and didn't deal with it.
They lost a year of their lives.
In a way, that's kind of nice. Like politically and like global news speak, like in terms of like geopolitical stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of a dope year to take off.
Yeah. If there's one year you want to just not know anything for the entire year, it would be 2016/17.
If you want to come back and like, because I have a feeling of powerlessness about 2016 and 2017, right?
Yeah.
But it's this powerlessness and like, I did what I could and nothing happened. Like, it must be nice to like leave, fuck off for your comeback and be like, well, you guys fucked it up. I was in the Highlands eating chicken feed.
I was eating chicken feed the whole time.
I've cracked my tooth on some fucking chicken feed and you guys fucked up the world. Not me.
Not on me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is such a Black Mirror episode.
It really is. The forgotten reality show.
God, that's amazing.
That's the reality show where they come out. The Black Mirror version is they come out and there's been like, complete Armageddon.
Yeah.
And the rubble, they think that they're going to be TV stars and there's no society.
Right.
Which
God.
really, if they waited like 6 more months, probably would have already happened.
Yeah.
That probably would have been the case.
It's a good thing they came because like, actually, if they had waited another 6 months in the Highlands there,
yeah,
just rating albums, deciding on Manchester versus like the like early 2000s like urban sound
yeah,
vis-a-vis the streets,
yeah.
Like if they had been like ranking all of that stuff, lad culture, like all of that stuff, and they'd come out with like the ultimate list of like top 10 albums.
Yeah. They actually accomplished something.
Which is like literally all Scottish people would do.
do.
They would just come out with like, here are the top 10 albums that were ever created and the rest of your albums can fuck off. And it would be like for nothing.
Yeah.
They'd be like, hey, we came up. Oh.
Anybody want to read the list?
Shite.
Yours, I think you're right about the documentary thing, though. It does say Channel 4 has not commented on the situation except to say that
because they're getting sued now.
They would be airing footage covering the whole experiment later this year.
Yeah. Because if you're going to get sued, which they are, you at least better get a documentary out of it.
Oh man.
But what's going to be interesting about that Channel 4 documentary is interviewing the production team who was like, nobody told them. Yeah. And that's the first question I want answered. Yeah. How did you not? Do they go? No, they didn't comment.
No comment.
They refused to comment. Yeah. Somebody was supposed to tell them, dude.
There definitely were at least a couple of people that should have told them.
Holy shit, man. Yeah. Somebody was supposed to tell them. Let me tell you something, man. A couple weeks ago, Jess and I went on that cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you go on these day excursions and they're like, come back by 5 to get on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, well, what happens if somebody just doesn't?
Yeah.
What the fuck happens?
Don't they like have a list of all the people?
They have like a list and they do a count and they try to figure out who's missing, but like.
Then they're going to search.
There's a way that there's a way that they leave without you.
Yeah.
I think they do leave without you. I think they do account if somebody's missing.
They're not going to stay there forever waiting for some dude that's drunk under a tree somewhere.
No, they're like, okay, well, we waited an hour. One person from the cruise line maybe sticks around and the local police are informed and like.
Everybody else is partying again.
Yeah, there are 3,000 people on this boat. Bye.
Yeah, that's had to have happened.
Of course, yeah. And I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, what if we're like, I am the sort of person who worries, what if we're 15 minutes late? What if we're a half hour late?
Yeah.
Can you imagine like just being up there and going for a year and just being like, shouldn't the crew check in with us like at least once?
Yeah.
Shouldn't something happen? One of us got really sick.
Shut up, Norman. Shut up. You're always talking about who should be here and who should. You're not the leader of the community.
I'm not.
Shut up,
I'm
Norman.
not saying I'm the leader of the community. I'm just saying.
I'm so sick of Norman.
One of us like nearly died and like nobody checked in.
You ate more than your fair share of grits, chicken feed.
It's not grits. It's grit. There are pebbles inside. You shouldn't be eating the chicken feed. Okay?
God, I hate you, Norman. I hate you.
All right, man. Fine.
We're supposed to create a utopian society.
No,
except Norman's here.
What the fuck, dude?
I hate you.
What the fuck? Also, Park Life sucks. It's not a good album.
Oh, that's why you don't want it on the list? How dare you, Norman?
That's the only reason not to want something on the list, asshole. Why do you have such a problem with me? Also, really, somebody should be checking in. I don't know. What would you guys like? Would any of you even agree to be on a reality show where you just go out of contact with the world for a year?
I think that would be tough.
Would any of you do that?
Especially like the pace at which stuff changes nowadays, you know? I mean, just imagine how many Android phones you'd have to find out about. How many Star Wars movies have been announced.
Yeah. And
what's going on with the MCU?
And even if they say, hey, we're putting you on an island and you're not going to hear from us. How long would it take of not hearing from them before you were like, no, but seriously? Even though they said they're not supposed to, but come on.
Yeah.
They've got to run this show. So, yeah.
I'm sure they'd be like, are they testing us? It's all part of the...
Yeah, but by like month 4, I don't think that anymore. I think something's gone wrong.
Yeah, but you're crazy from the chicken feed madness.
Yeah, I'm also the person, like, I've said this before, I'm the person in a zombie movie who, like, gets really paranoid that everybody else has been bit while hiding that he was bit. So, I mean, like, maybe I do get a little more paranoid than everybody else. But I'm saying, like, I want to know. We're letting you... How long would it take before you thought something was wrong?
Would you go? And if you were there, how long would it take before you were like, fuck this?
You can let us know on Twitter. I'm at @Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
You can hashtag those park life. And also, hey, check out the Facebook group, y'all.
We have one now.
Facebook.com/groups/we have concerns. This story was posted there.
Yeah, it was.
It's a pretty good story.
It is.
We're talking about it over there. Well, you can do it too. Park Life is a good album.